Hello.
Demand for grandbabies because they apparently want to see what happens. Fucking.
Oh my god!
Here we go. Cool. Yeah, if you need any help with understanding magical stuff or learning new magical spells, I can help with that. Oh, hi, Exie. Yes, she's a synthetic. As I was saying, she is a sentient, advanced, technological golem, basically.
I wanted to know if you wanted to hang out at some point.
Hi, Exie. We have an isekai person from the feudal era.
I see. Pleasure to meet you.
I know, he probably lives.
That's fine. Go
I
ahead.
like how we have shorthand for that at this point. Oh yeah, this person's been isekai'd. Half the people you meet have been isekai'd.
Yeah, I'm technically
You are lifelike.
Okay, when I say isekai, there's
I
a
am
difference
alive.
between just willingly entering the metaverse like I did, or just accidentally finding your way
Fascinating.
either by force or happenstance. Like with you, you accidentally wandered into the Feywild of a different world.
Well,
I look.
who made you?
That one is nice. It looks like a good
My father? Dr.
Where can I
Amadeus
find him?
This is just what I look
Where
like.
can I find him?
Barely wearing anything.
Unfortunately, his world is not accessible.
Another different world.
You are a
By the way, as oh my body.
Do pass along the message that I'm very interested in his work. I could definitely use golems like yourself.
Again, she's a person. Treat her as such.
I'm not a golem.
Golem is the shorthand that she's more familiar with, that's closest to related to you.
Venom is a delight.
As I described you, a sentient, technological golem.
funny person.
Well, he does make non-sentient robots.
So, the Eddie he keeps referring
So do I.
to the human house
Yes.
is underneath that black.
Mostly my drones, but yes, I do.
Yeah, Exie's dad doesn't really visit. If you want something made that's similar to Exie, you'd want to ask someone like Artemis, probably.
I should call it.
Yes,
I should
he
call it
usually uses body to
one of my
communicate
most
with people.
recently finished drones. I'll be right back. I'm gonna call it the simple unit.
I see, I'll keep that in mind.
He's something called a symbiote, which is a word that means
We have a bit of a rapport going. Me and your dad.
something else to the benefit of both.
But also,
I suppose.
Is that a rapport, not a good one?
suit.
Yes,
We have an understanding.
It's a,
Yes.
I'll save you
it's a tool
the.
with a mind of its own.
I'll save you from the embarrassment that I can see this going down. When it comes to cadavers and such, where do you get them?
It's like goose.
Oh,
Goose also like goo.
again, Metaverse, there's so many places you can get them. You can get them in a more sketchy places that don't really have any laws. You can get them more legally from those donated to science or people with donor cards. That's the thing, people, when they die, they have like a card that says that they're a donor and their body is donated to the medical field.
Partially the black bile that lives inside.
Oh, you're afraid that...
Ideally, you'd want to do it within
Oh,
the
you're
law,
undead.
otherwise you're gonna get undead.
Oh my.
I mean, you can just get bones from a butcher shop if you just want animal bones or something.
Is goo, but it's outside.
Hmm.
A
Hello.
lot of the time, yes.
I would
though
prefer not to deal with...
symbiotes can live inside of the.
I would prefer not to deal with
What, radiation?
animals.
It's weird
Unless I wish to just make a corpse of my own.
Oh,
Is it
This was a make
possible to
best for the first time around.
is it possible to do a lot of these things with the fabricated body?
yes, I was actually just thinking about that. We have a guild member called Tomiko She is a
Oh, yes,
meat
I
monster,
suppose-
as she puts it.
Yeah, how
She
much
can
would do
just
that?
use magic to create bones and flesh.
Hmm. As tempting as that is, it needs to have a soul dwell within it at some point.
At some
Ideally
point,
for most of its life.
Again, you can, like, people can offer those. They are sold legally and illegally in many places. Obviously, legally, you might need to apply or pay a little bit more. Illegally, it's going to be a bit cheaper, but the likelihood of someone coming after you for doing illegal activities is obviously a risk that you need to consider. Given how many diverse cultures there are, though, doing it legally is usually the best way.
And what form of currency do they use?
Credits
Thank
is
you,
the
this is
universal
part of
currency
previous
most people
conversation.
use, but gold. Gold is accepted in
Oh, is
most
it?
places. Huh?
They were just commenting on it being a dubious conversation, and I was agreeing with them.
I mean, if you're a necromancer, you're a necromancer. You can't really do much about the fact that you need materials.
Yeah, we're a little flooded with.
If it makes you
I
feel
guess.
better and sleep better at night,
Not
my
even no
magic
busy
will
name.
allow me to just make a simple body.
Not much busy.
No need for another
Yeah.
loss.
I have an idea. Alright. I could make a body, transfer my soul into it, not put a kill switch in it, and then when I transfer out of it, there you go, you have a body that my soul dwelled in at some point.
Maybe not.
Does that count? I could do that.
I suppose you
There
could.
you go.
The soul exists mainly for the magic pathways to form. And
And
so as long as that's
all
in
of
there.
my bodies I usually make very mana compatible, so it'd probably be ideal.
I'm not gonna say
Very well.
I do most
So,
things for
out
free
of
anyway, as long as
curiosity-
it's helping people who mean to help others.
die.
Out of curiosity, what is your preferred method of separating flesh from bone?
Flesh from bone.
I mean, you're welcome
It
to do
depends
that.
on what I'm going to be using the flesh or bone for. If I don't need the bones, there's certain spells that just dissolve the bones. If I just need the bones and not the flesh, I can just put them in a certain fluid that will dissolve all the flesh, but not the bones. Or I can give it to some small little fish creatures or something that will just pick the bones clean very neatly.
Don't do the fish, please.
Oh, sorry. There are land-based mammals that can do the same, but
It's okay.
yeah, it might be a little
End up doing
Oh,
things
bonk.
I have no hand in.
Reply. I heard that.
I apologize
I
sincerely.
do have a couple dolls that do that if I need to.
How you doing?
Are you? Apologize. You are.
I'm doing well.
I do not wish to offend.
I'm well aware.
That's good to hear.
Used to it.
We've
You shouldn't
just
have
never
to be.
seen this kind of security droid or security whatever you are.
Venom's a sweet thing. Just let him have it. See whatever animals are around here. All of them. At the same time.
But yes,
That last part.
Set is
try to
one-
stay on the good side of the
bad
law
guys.
because there's a lot of people
And
that
see
will
bites.
come after you at any whiff of doing bad things.
Wait,
But
what?
just being a necromancer
I mean,
usually won't have people
it
on your
depends
ass
on
unless
which-
they're,
Oh,
well,
oh. It depends on which version of Venom it
See
is.
nothing wrong with that.
But like,
Hmm.
with how often he was speaking to Eddie, I had assumed that it was one of the universes where he was more an anti-hero.
I'm
It
serious.
was an evening first.
Mm.
And yeah.
You'll have to show me your work.
Just
I'm
know
honestly
the
curious about
say
that.
one bad,
From one
bad
professional
guy
I
to another.
and
live
one
in a demi-plane that
by-
is partially
by
anchored to the
head of-
metaverse. Specifically out of
Not
my own
bad,
wizard
no,
tendencies, I try to keep everything as secure as possible.
Mhm.
I don't really
I hope
invite
he doesn't
people I
try
just
that,
met there,
guys.
but I can.
So you're saying that they are the
do
Venom that I'm
that
familiar with?
occasionally.
Since Saturday.
What was that, actually?
To play chicken with
There's a venom that I am familiar with. I thought
Also,
they were
just as a
familiar.
precaution, I'd recommend not trying to get into my place.
Yeah,
There's a lot of,
this super villain
I
slash
have no
anti-hero,
nor desire.
the one that came to Earth on a meteor.
Oh,
I just thought I should be talking about them in comms. Hello.
Yes, nice.
Hey, bud.
So, I could do that whole, just like temporarily go into a body for you.
Yes, please. Greatly appreciate
Most of my bodies, when
I
they
know,
start
Marvin.
exiting, it just turns to ash. Because I made this, I don't really want people stealing my work. So it's got like a safety switch.
Eh?
I can sit down and
But I can make it without that safety switch if you need the body parts, which you do. I could probably make something like that for you.
I mainly need the bones. Anything else is just going to get removed anyway.
I mean,
I'm perfectly fine with doing that by
Eh?
hand.
Maybe it's just what people call me.
It's up to you. There's
Yeah.
no about it. But I just like the idea of just making a body to transfer into for a moment. But I've been in this body for a good few years now, and be ashamed to give it up.
Delicious, though.
I can make a brand new one just like this. This is actually the longest time I've been in one body.
It's more like
I think it's like
whole leg of
7 years
mutton.
now, this one.
Really?
Yeah, it does look more like mutton or a lamb
before I
chop or
swapped.
something.
For various reasons.
Which is usually very disposable with theirs.
Twitches.
Witches.
I was actually burnt at the stake once.
wait,
They did
what?
think I was a witch.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't exactly go to plan. Well, for them, they thought I'd turned to ash and died, but for me, I just kind of went home, got a new body.
I just dematerialized once they started to flame. I thought they got me.
Well, at the very least, with me, the clothes are still there, and there's like an ash pile, the right size and shape of my body. Because the only thing that escapes is the soul. Because usually people from that age didn't really understand souls and how they work, so just kind of go back home and get a new body.
Oh, this tastes so much better in the smoke. Fire. Wow.
I mean, I would say fair enough, but we're also dealing with something we don't really know about.
Mind your manners while you
We
eat.
will try to eat less loudly.
Yeah, noble hierarchies really aren't a thing here. Everyone's
Yes, but there's common
basically
manners.
equal, but everyone's also kind of basically fucked.
Oh, you are.
What do you mean?
We ate less loud.
Sorry, that's a habit from home.
What, that I'm fucked?
Mm,
I'm fucked many
not you
times over,
specifically.
Trash down here.
Yeah.
Not you specifically, just what we used to saying to others.
There are trash cans back in the
Get that outfit finished.
huts.
So many people have wings.
Where did who go?
I don't.
Yeah, imagine having wings.
Yeah, imagine.
Nah, she left a while ago.
Imagine.
Smart asses.
Can't you go reach what you about?
Yarrow and then just walk.
Not that sort of bug. If I wanted to fly, I'd just use magic.
That I have to
Like, for example,
the elders want me to wear.
Smart.
Good old men.
Andy, we shall learn that.
I'm not overly fond of relying on magic to fly.
No.
If I accidentally fly through an anti-magic field, then I just crash face first into the ground, and that's issues for everyone.
Technically, I do not need the wings to fly, since I just use anti-gravity.
I don't do what they do, which is
Although these foci do make my anti-gravity more strong.
capacity, I should say.
Cryptic shit, or give cryptic
Well,
answers.
I have my own mana supply, but I don't really go off of my own. I use incantation,
Sorry.
so verbal, semantic, hand movements, and material components, which I actually swap out for a foci, to basically tell magic or the weave what I want, and that happens. Oh, and another person is showing off their ones, right? The weave, yes. Another name for the Astral Sea. Before people realized it was a place you can actually go, people called it the Weave because it weaves between realms. So you can just manipulate it and make it do things. And that's magic.
That aren't there.
At least how I use magic. Other people do other things, like there's warlocks that literally have magic in their blood. Usually it's like their mother fucked a dragon or something, and now they have dragon blood and they have magic through that.
Wait, I thought it was warlock was when you made a deal with a higher power and
Yes,
gained a
I'm
portion
thinking
of their
sorcerer.
power.
Sorry, I got it backwards. Warlock is when you get power from a higher being, like an elder dragon, or a god, or a demon, or I don't know, just anyone powerful. I think I could make a warlock if I wanted to. I meant sorcerer when I talked about the power coming from
Do you
their
believe you could be a
biology, their
patron?
blood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh? I probably could.
People have made elder dragons their patrons? What the hells?
No, not elder dragon in the form you're thinking of. I mean, like, elder dragon, a dragon that is elder,
An ancient dragon.
sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, just a really, really fucking old dragon.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, I hear elder dragon and I think
Yeah.
the ones that our
Yeah, there's a
ancestors
part of this metaverse where people called monster
There actually is an ancient dragon in
and
Mountain
they have all
Range.
sorts of creatures, usually based on wyverns. That's they are essentially part of the ecosystem with where they have to hunt them, use their parts to make weapons, and then fight with stronger ones. Elder dragons are basically the strongest of the strongest. Kinda, but more specifically focused on fighting monsters. They're not helping towns, they're not doing cooking or anything.
they literally they only hunt monsters that are causing harm to people.
Scared me of.
Oh, this will be
I don't think that makes
Okay,
them like
adventurers, at least as our guild recognizes them, as more people that just go around and help others. It doesn't have to involve killing anything. You can literally be helping an old lady cross the road, picking some herbs for a medicine person, something like that. Just doing odd quests.
Keep the trolls at bay.
The
like one
trolls.
example I had I have a while back of me being a magic teacher.
You know, the rapid regeneration creatures, monsters.
Oh, I mean, those exist, sure, but they're not in every single world. And in worlds that do have them, I imagine there are people that go out and hunt trolls, but that's not it. We don't really need to do that. I'm pretty sure this world is semi-magical, doesn't really have, like, all the really crazy stuff, so most people are right. At least the world we're currently standing on.
Carry blanks, what do you think I am, a coward?
We must be leaving now. We look forward to come back. We might be
Take
back
care.
later. Possibly if you guys are still around. We'll see what happens. But it was good meeting all of you.
Okay.
Goodbye.
You too.
Farewell, Venom.
Venom.
Later, giant dude.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess the closest you could get is Monster Hunters, if that's what you think of adventurers, but in the metaverse, when you say adventurer, you don't really think someone who only hunts monsters. That's more specifically Monster
Don't
Hunters.
know what the fuck that was, but okay.
He's rivals with
Venom?
Spider-Man, and In a lot of universes, the symbiote
They're
is
creatures
no,
but have some sort of like magical effects going on at times.
in a lot of
Me neither. I just know that they are a character from comics because Guppy mentioned them in Pause.
Just shoots out of them.
I thought comic books more boring.
yes,
There's also a dinosaur-looking thing with big
red and blue costume,
chitinous
black
fists
web pattern on it,
that
white
just
eyes.
shoot out explosive goo.
Yep.
And then you get more normal stuff like just a two-legged bird with a sword for a tail or something.
Spider-Man.
Thinks a stomach is required for him, but
Oh,
I feel
did
like
you
some
say
of those are
man?
Oh my god!
Yes.
Mountor.
I never
That's
thought I would
adorable.
I would be
use
very
that name
careful. That
again.
area is essentially a nature
adorable.
reserve. The people who live there are very, very cautious about what wildlife gets brought in and what gets taken out.
Spider-Man,
So,
Spider-Man.
if you try to do anything, they might try and impose
Somebody
restrictions
saw
on you.
around Osaka like
It's
one
not
time
gonna-
way back when.
You can
Just
go and
was
do it,
stuck with
but
me
they're
just to go
probably
how
gonna get busy.
unique the
I think I'm
situation
being
was.
called. Give me a moment.
And this was also around the time when I was still new to stuff. So some of the other weird stuff was still that I've learned to be normal and still stuck out. Like the time I saw Sonic get jumped by one friend.
what am I
There's
supposed to
new
do?
people
doing
around
alright?
who wanna freak you
Oh,
Oh yes,
right,
I'm
the
just
same
getting my
thing.
bearings. So
It's sometimes that are
Oh.
lying in the taco, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would they freak out?
Yeah.
Why would they freak out? Oh my gosh, he's such a fucking softie.
But yeah, in a lot of worlds,
Coward.
Venom used to be
Get
How
back
is-
here, old man.
Talking a lot of shit!
Venom is mainly the name used for the black
point
ooze-like symbiote that
One day he's gonna hear it,
it's human.
and you're gonna regret it.
He
And in a
hears
lot
it
of
every
worlds,
fucking
that
day. He just
symbiote used
Oh,
to
Cosmo.
be paired with Spider-Man and went on to pair with
Did
a
you
rival
change your hair?
for-
Wait a minute.
Me?
Oh, I'm guessing
Yeah.
If you're
it's,
talking
the
about, if
person
you're
you're
talking about me,
It's,
no.
quite
No, I'm talking about the
unexpected
fucking
face to see you.
problem child for
I have a lot of reasons.
3. I believe you're
You
3.
could just say Exy.
What brings you here? I'm surprised to see you.
research on what?
Funny story.
Nah. I call you that enough as is. You're problem child number 3.
Spectral entities can interact with without needing to
Mm.
focus on it.
Same as Maxine. She was here.
I have not changed my hair. Perhaps you were
It
just
looks different.
perhaps you were just used to the hair on my other body.
That feels like real
Oh,
world
that's a simple
life.
change.
This is a.
What do you mean, other body?
British of-
It's just a tiny drone in this, right?
Small guild that is running.
No.
Like,
The new one. Well, they're not new, but I have changed their appearance. I could get them.
I didn't realize you had a new body.
I'll show you.
Experimentation.
Be right back.
Oh, damn.
But I found out
Tomo is
that
being eaten by a massive bug man. Can't believe
Huh?
I turned into a cannibal.
energy for long enough, it becomes a part of the domain of the spectral entity. that
Wait,
Go
what?
swap into your new body. I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit about Alice. Go swap into your new body.
Oh, okay.
I can say
You, problem child 17. Fucking, Cosmo. Yeah, that's it.
Looked like many different things over the years. Sometimes.
Oh, there's
Evil
things I
dragon
do
from my
to be able
realm.
to just
Altered entity that causes harm, for instance, a
Oh yes.
This one.
very admirable
mind flare. There we go.
But that's always been a thing for my village and I.
I'm familiar with that term,
Let's
but
just say
So you've grown your hair out.
my family and I, along with
Oh.
lots of other clans and
I did not
families, we
grow it, but I changed it.
planet that we live on. All nothing but just dragon folk, like I.
You grew your hair
My
out
father
effectively.
and mother happen to be the most
Effectively, yes.
with the rest of the more noble
And
families.
also got a new coating.
Certain areas
Even then, she
on the
refuses to
continent.
die.
What do you mean you're still orange?
Skies up above,
Every
but
once in a
also
while,
down.
I
Mine?
deal with someone being
Oh, right, you're blind.
one of those 7
No, I am
There you
silver.
go. Took you long enough.
Also have places known as
It's the
what
most
was it,
infuriating thing.
Stonehide Mountains.
Yes, and you've got big old
I'd
fucking
come from
leaf
dealing
ears
with
now. I'm gonna
or preparing to
fucking
deal with.
The families
I
that
see.
have
This is a
been
Miku
involved
cosplay,
in
isn't it?
spots, you never know.
Yes.
Things such as
You got
beasts,
stuck in the multiverse.
certain things
You
like
have it
titans,
bad.
got
beings
stuck
that
in
tend
the
to be a bit of a threat.
Bloody super fans, honestly. A lot of ya. Horrific.
She left.
Is left up to I,
They
my
told
family, and
me.
It started off as just a cosplay, but I just enjoyed it so much
humorous way.
as its own thing.
House, if you will.
Cosplay? Oh yeah, that's
Yes, that
good.
was her name.
Gives people an opportunity to have fun, I suppose.
So you can
Don't
see
you
it now you're stuck.
how
More or
do I
less.
say,
I mean,
you know, to surround yourself
a
with
celebration
believe you're
will still
stuck.
happen regardless of my presence.
With
If it succeeds, then I get credit, and hopefully they'll fish me back.
Mi hermana.
If it
She's
fails, then it falls
always
You
on the
need
head
a
of the one
place to
still
stay
there.
temporarily.
so locked.
You need a place to stay temporarily until you get back.
I actually didn't think that far ahead.
Well, let's start from that. I have one older sister.
If you want, I've got a place.
The older one is more traditional. She's more
Man,
closed
I've
in,
shoved
more
some.
I'll
stay at
consider
home,
it,
be
but
safe.
considering I know not of you, I might
My sister and I
delay that for at least time.
I never wanted
That's
to
fine, I
separate
understand.
myself from just my people.
Oh boy.
Don't
Forgive
mind
me,
me,
I'm
just being
from a place
entertained.
not used to trusting
A few
others.
times actually, to a couple of
That's fine. Neither am I.
Need some
venting
I didn't say I
popcorn for
trusted you. I'm
this.
just allowing you a place to stay.
ferocious, large, dominating race that inhabits one world.
It's a room in a bunker not far from where I
What are
live.
the other places one may visit, by the way?
Surprised that, how many people did not like
Orlando Saka, the Wicarium, which is a magic shop floating in the sky above Orlando Saka.
Really?
Dragon Spire, which is a abandoned keep, basically being
essentially.
run by a group of mercenaries.
Not dragons.
To you when it comes to all of these people.
Probably.
Traveling the ley lines of the
There are dragons everywhere, both sentient, not. Most don't cause you to miss you.
Go out and see
Hmm.
new instead of
I see.
rinse repeat.
Strangely enough, yeah, most are friendly.
Right enough that I
It's
got
only a select
confused
few
while
who
practicing
cause
my
problems.
Clear pipe.
Oh, I apologize.
You're
What about
fine.
you?
The most I've run into that cause problems are ones that have been corrupted by one means or another,
Well, I
or
was
just,
not-
causing problems.
My childhood, I would not really say was a rough one, but
There's also
more
a Kala
so
City.
Yes.
with a lot of things that you would expect a child not to go through.
I don't know, I just overheard
Yeah.
a little bit of what you were saying and got curious.
Are you familiar with the place?
What was that about spells with split souls in 7 parts and dark dragon? What?
It's a large, futuristic city.
I thought I heard
Oh,
something.
when I spoke with,
Younger,
I don't remember her name.
it's the only place I could really remember myself
Well,
being at.
yes,
It was
I'm with a group fighting against a dark dragon from my
dangerous,
realm.
to say the least. I was
Oh,
mainly by
Or
myself.
the remains of her
Until
order.
I stumbled upon a small, it was much more, a casino of sorts.
Right.
The remains of
Like
her
this
order.
shadow or something else?
And because that was the only place that I thought felt safe.
Would this
No,
dragon
shadows of
be
something.
named
Frequently,
Tiamat?
Stood by the doors.
No, I would rather not
and,
say her name.
Just to see
Lest
if
I
people come
risk
in
her
and
being, or a version of her
force at
being here.
one part in my
That is
life.
fair.
Names have
I
power.
was, Oishi.
Yeah, you give people names, you give them power.
So,
Which is why I don't give
Sadly-
people my name.
choose me to be adopted. I chose
What can I
her.
call you? I need something at least.
I sort of
You
went
may
to
call
her
me
and
Artemis.
kind of stuck on her like
Artemis? Okay, thank you.
what's a good analogy? Peanut butter and jelly. Something of that
But
nature.
yes,
I was gonna say bread and butter.
the Dark Dragon was split
That's
into,
good.
or her
Good
soul
enough.
was split into 7,
But yes,
cast
I
into the Sea of Chaos, and
felt like she was
sadly
the
that refuses
only
to stay dead.
person who made me feel
Every
safe.
once in a while, a mortal is born with a fragment of her
I
soul.
tried to
And then the thorn in our side, pretty much guaranteed.
ability to stay by her side as long as I could.
And here I am, without a
Of
connection
course,
to my
there was
lord.
a time
Which is annoying on
between
multiple levels.
now and when I was a child.
May I ask, what exactly are you?
But
Since you
I
seemed
was
to
separated for a while.
You're welcome.
Not
share
just from
a bit
mother,
of familiarity
but
with
from this
me
world as a whole.
when you called me a monster.
It was strange. But after
You can say
a good
I'm
while,
human.
whether I found myself back at this plane of existence or just I'm not
I
too
don't
sure.
believe it
It's,
for a second,
again,
but
quite
I
painful
guess
to remember.
I'll go with
But
it for
you
now.
shouldn't.
I can see why this is an improvement. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a hell of an improvement.
Hi.
Yeah.
What's up?
I even managed to get
We're
get him
talking
to
shit
remove those
about how I used
stupid
to
ass
look.
on things. Yeah.
Why are you using self-deprecation? That's not healthy. You should seek therapy.
No.
Because I'm the one who
I
talks
admit,
shit about.
because I made that
Because it was
body,
funny.
and I admit that that was a flawed experiment. That's how I learned, and I got
Oh.
better, and I made this, which is an improvement.
Look, Artemis. He was a NEET and had no clue how the fuck to talk to
Hermit.
people.
I
And
was a
his
hermit.
first thought was,
These nuts
I know. His first thought was, I know, let me make
literally
this
used
giant
Miku's
monster
face
to
as a
talk to people.
base for what I should look like to be more personable. It was worse than what you're thinking.
That's what I said.
I never wanted to point it out, but yes, the fact that it was Mickey's face was quite disturbing to me.
Okay, to be fair, I just
That was
researched
disturbing.
like a very popular, likable figure who doesn't really have any controversies around them, and Miku came up. I was like, that's cool. I'll take her face and use that as a base for what I'm going to turn my face into, and to make the face as Miku-like as possible, it kind of made the rest of the mutations unstable, hence I got the big old stick bug body.
Did you change the story from what I said just to make you feel more right?
No.
About picking Miku?
I said the same thing to you.
No, I said more likable person, not the whole political part.
Well,
And that's why I said
likable
like a king.
is the same thing. That likable is the simplified form of doesn't have any controversies, and nobody would think that this is a bad face.
There's some
The thing
good
is, I
kings
didn't
out
really
there.
take into account the rest of the body. I just thought the face would be most important. Again, I was a
There's some
hermit for a
good
few
kings and
hundred
kings out
years. I
there.
kind of forgot about everything. Hi. Dude. Yeah, it's even worse than just this body with a Miku face on it. It's like big and stick buggy. You're a nerd.
Nerd.
You're literally a nerd. Nerd is a more modern term for people who do like techie stuff, right? So you're
I
a
am a
nerd.
geek. I'm a geek.
I
Okay,
got
you're a
free shit,
geek.
so I don't
Not a
mind what
nerd.
happens.
I'm a hermit.
Am I a
and
geek or a
scientist.
nerd?
Hi, I'm an old man. What's up?
I've been indulged to
Yes.
ask about the form you had when you first arrived at Stardust.
Am I both?
You've seen it, haven't you? I can't remember. I did show it off at
I
one point.
don't-
I can't remember. It was the big lanky
don't-
thing with the claws.
I suppose I am a geek and a nerd.
I might remember that a little bit.
Okay. I'll show you if you're curious. Over here.
I would rather not see this.
Also, Warden said something about Mickey.